Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the SS Manhood, and welcome to the next competitive match of Empires of Aether, the next-rate turn-based strategy board game that allows you to wield the power of an element of your choosing, vying for control of a new power, a new element, Aether. And we've got a spicy matchup here tonight, featuring two of the top 4 candidates on our leaderboard. That is going to be the young Blue Shadow and Biggest Yeet in this matchup. Blue Shadow trying to climb to the top of the leaderboard here this evening. If he can get a win condition, he will be tied, but he'll have 2 more matches played than young Scooby, who will be playing later this week. The Biggest Yeet, blown a couple of competitive games this season. In my opinion, I think he should have 5 or even 6 win conditions in his 3 matches played, but actually blew a couple of wins, so let's see if he can redeem himself. And we also have the man, who's sitting in the 5 seed right now with the most matches played, but a real tenacious go-getter who has really found his stride. And the 4th player at this table is going to be none other than young Bobrick, who is really coming to his own in these matches outside of the competitive scene. And let's see if we can continue those strides here in Empires of Aether. Blue Shadow says your game sucks. I rolled a 5, and he's going to end up being the 10-10 roll, I think is what we're following up with after this. Yikers, yikers. You hate to see it. You really do. He's a 10-10 fiend, boys. A 10-10 fiend. And here we go. Let's take a look at this board here. Randomly generated for us. We've already got the plays in. Dwarf Exterminator is going to be the 10-10 position. Ooflord at 13-13. Bobrick 16-16. David the Big Seed at 20-20. And we've already got all 4 of our nations picked here. We've got Sand in the northwest, Metal in the northeast, Blood in the southwest, and Air. Air with a 90% pick ban rate, heavily leaning towards the ban side of things, getting played here. Goodness gracious. And the bans tonight were Poison, Lightning, Nature, and Earth, and for good reason. Poison's got a couple of corners that are very juicy in the swamp department. We've got mountains galore. Mountains galore on this table. And wouldn't you know, Blood just recently got buffed in this last patch and is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So we are going to see what Blood is capable of doing in this matchup here today. And Blood looks like he was the first picked element here by Ooflord, I believe. So what kind of music we got going on here, boys? It's been a minute since the elements have graced us with their presence, but they begged the treatment. And here we are. This, by the way, is the summer of the elements, the summer of Aether. We're going to be having competitive matches coming at you at every opportunity, hoping to get lots of new players here involved here pretty soon, as we are going public in less than a week. Website is going to debut, an actually good website is going to debut, along with all of our other social media. We've got posts ready to slap the internet in the face to show them this awesome project that we've been working on. Couldn't be more excited. So let's see. Oh no, it's David at the 13-13 position taking Blood, actually. And Justin is going to take Sand in the 10-10 position. That is spicy. I got to see that website. I want to make you a mod on it as well. I got a couple people working on it. Big projects underway. But it looks so good. Way better than anything I can do. Embarrassing what we did last time. Anyways, as always, this stream is sponsored by Celsius. Crack open a cold one with the boys, kick your feet up, and sip on some natural caffeine to power you through the evening. The elements demand it. So anyways, if I'm looking at these corners, Sand being taken to the 10-10 position, it's an interesting pick here by Justin. He's got 2 Rainforests here in his corner as well, which is going to be a really, really solid open for him. But what are we going to do with these swamps? We're going to try to turn them into the desert. Yes, we're going to try to turn them into some sand that we can work with here. But I think when this corner gets taken away from me, I don't think I'm feeling Sand too much anymore. So I think it's certainly an interesting pick by the player here. But he's towards the top of the leaderboard for a reason. He knows the game through and through. But I think the focus of today is going to be on young Bobrick, and Bobrick is on one of his bread and butter elements, Air. Bobrick hit me personally, with probably the spiciest play I've seen in an early game elemental play, where he straight up took me out of the game turn 4 through a combination of some cheeky air plays. Air is very powerful. Air is very powerful. There is no doubt about it. At a 90% pick ban rate, being banned in, I believe, either 60 or 70% of our competitive matches thus far. Yikes. Yikes. Doom, doom. Alright, I'm curious to see what we do with Metal. Metal's got a whole new line of abilities ready for them as well, so let's see what he's going to go for. Is he going to go for the Chain Metal? But looking at a triple Mountain Corner with the Gray here, I'm thinking we're just going to see a standard Ore/Smelter quest build for Metal. But Blood. Blood outside of the competitive scene. Blood has seen several changes to its kit, and it is saucy. Blood is saucy, saucy, saucy. It is brutal on the players. It does feel very hard to play against in a lot of situations. And the reason why is because of this card right here, Sing Red. It's long overdue for Blood to see a general double movement ability card. And here we have it. And once it graced this game, goodness gracious. Was it just, it was the bane of all the aggro elements' existence, which I really like it. I like it as a counter aggro element. I think it's a really cool spot for it. But it also is just brutalizing everyone else as well. Just picking up too much speed on that general. And so we had to slow it down just a little bit. Had to curtail it just a little bit. Looking at these bosses, Blood is not normally concerned with the bosses. But with its ramped up power, I think it could be on the forefront here. Especially with Sand on this long side here. That means the Kraken could be up for grabs for Blood. Vipress is almost certainly going to be threatened by air. With Typhon over here on the north side of air, it's going to be delayed in hitting that. We don't think air is going to pursue Typhon. I do think they're going to pursue Vipress, who just recently received a health buff, is now at 60 HP, moving from 50. So most of the bosses did experience a change. You've got the Gray at 75 HP, the Kraken's at 60 HP, and we've got Vipress at 60. Typhon's still sitting at that 120. It's a pretty healthy point for us, but perhaps it gets changed here not too long from now. Air's got a very, very standard set of abilities here with a couple of flex points in at Tier 2, and it looks like Air is going with the full aggro. Full aggro. And so I do like Air as a really good counter to what Blood is able to do. And we'll see, Bodrick's at 1616, Blood is at 2020. So I do think Air is going to be able to pursue Blood. Let's go ahead and get these turns situated for us. I think that's right. All right. And we've got Jake Ooflord back to his metal main, and he is going with that standard Helter, Smelter, He Do Be Smeltendo quest line of abilities for metal here. So pretty standard moveset, what he's got going on here. Sand can counter it. Sand can definitely counter it. Could also maybe get a website for the Twitch channel. That'd be sick. That'd be super sick. That would be sick indeed. We've got Sand. I think this is actually going to be the first time that this ability's actually been utilized. We've got yet another Star Wars pun rolled out here for the Sand abilities. Are you an angel? Says Anakin to Padme within Watto's shop. If you're starting 10, 10, or 13, 13, start with an extra 3, 3. So he's getting a bonus 6 resources here at the beginning. So he's starting 13, 13 despite being the first turn player here. And it looks like we're just about to get started here. So he is essentially shirking himself of one Tier 1 ability. His Tier 2, he's going with the Monument. He's got no deserts, no natural deserts in his corner. And yet, he's still taking, I mean, everywhere, and it gets everywhere, despite taking the Great Sphinx. I think I would have gone for more aggressive abilities. If you've got the Sphinx, that means that here, 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 and here are all turning into deserts. That's 5 deserts for you right away. Now, we do want to hit that 3 desert checkpoint a little bit earlier, so perhaps that's what he's thinking of. But still, if you deny yourself one of the Great Sphinx deserts, then what the heck's the point? And then our Tier 3, pretty standard here, pretty standard. We've got Mummies, and we've got Buried Alive, and we've got the Pharaoh coming at us here. But I do think they're going to have a very tough uphill battle to get some win conditions here. If I'm looking at the timeline here, I think Air is going to be a threat to Blood, aggro-wise, and I think Metal is going to be a late-game threat to everyone pretty early on. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but with 3 mountains in the corner, a very economic build is going to be very fortuitous for Metal, and he's going to be able to hit that tier 3 very quickly. Now, we did put some new scripts onto the board. We're hoping that this is going to automatically keep track of the turns, so we will be watching that. You guys are the guinea pigs for it. And here we go. We are ready when you guys are. New weathers, new advantage cards, and new balancing in play. I am surprised Air was able to squeak through here. Maybe it's just because there's not that many fields on the board. Only 4 fields on the board, yet Air is still a highly sought-after pick. That just shows you how powerful Air is, man. Excuse me. We've got Sand opening up. They didn't turn on the turns. Boom. Okay. So you've got Sand opening up. Going to go ahead and pop that Barracks by a Rainforest. So this is what his Are You an Angel card is going to allow him to do. It's going to allow him to convert this swamp into a desert and also buy a Rainforest, which is a really, really good 10-10 position opening. Getting one of those tiles that greatly benefits you as Sand, getting 2 food from that tile, as well as getting a Rainforest down. And he only had to buy 1 soldier to do it, which is very, very solid. So he's going to be getting a good amount of food and a great amount of BM to where he's going to be able to put some buildings down next turn. I'm wondering if he's going to position himself a little aggro on this short side against Metal, because Metal is going to be such a large threat to us. Let's put ourselves in the supervisor position here. And let's take a look at what this card is. Gets a pretty terrible advantage card, the Boss Containment Device. It's only going to be relevant if Vipress gets taken. And even if Vipress is getting taken, well then, he's probably on the opposite side of the board from where it is actually being taken. Metal gets an announce card, a very good one right from the beginning, getting an extra 5 BM on turn 1. So he's actually going to be starting 13-18. That is absolutely massive. He's got 3 half-price mountains sitting here, courtesy of that Metal advantage. Mountains are half price. Absolute redonkulous ability. We definitely got to see this this Rainforest getting snagged here in the opening turn as well, I would imagine. Yep, buying that soldier, putting a barracks on the capital, buying 2 soldiers actually. And he's gonna, I assume he's got to be buying that Rainforest out there. Gotta be. Gotta be. So the counter did go up 1. We should see it go to 2 the moment that it hits Dwarf Exterminator once again. If the script is working. We've been dabbling, boys. We've been dabbling. Come on, be impressed. And he's got plenty of BM to put some resource buildings down. And because of Metal's passive, they do have the ability to put 2 resource buildings on any food-producing tile. Just once, though. And so he's going to go ahead and take advantage of that in the first turn. So he's going to have a lot of food coming from this tile. I would assume both of these are for food, because he's got these 3 mountains right here. So this tile alone should be producing him 6 food a turn. That is very, very scary if you're any other player on the board. Especially if Air commits to the short side against Blood, which is what I anticipate him to do. That means Metal could go for an early Oasis take here. Air getting one of the favorite advantage cards in the game. I've got skin in the game. What's up, Goofy? What up, baby? Welcome here. I've got skin in the game is drawn on turn 1. Super solid. I love it when it gets drawn this early. We've got Air opting to go for light-footed very early on. Gonna buy that Rainforest and that field. So he's actually committing to the strong side, the long side. Very interesting here. Let's see how Blood counters. With what Air is able to do and just stalling and put up a lot of power, but he's not gonna have that much added to his dice roll. He's only got this 1 field here. So Air is, it's gonna be interesting for Air here. Gonna go and put resource buildings, I imagine, on both of these. So just let's double down on this economy. Let's see where Blood wants to position his general. Let's see where Metal wants to go. Air is all about this tactical moving around the board. We strike the moment they commit in the other direction. I like it. I like it here. So we've got a new economic tracking system. These 2 outer counters are actually your net. No need for these spreadsheets down here anymore. And then we're simply going to be adding these totals to their counters at the end of each turn. So it's much more transparent for all the players here. Blood's going to draw quick Amazonian tribes here. He's got a Rainforest slightly in his corner. Not the best advantage card early on. Gonna buy this forest. Gonna be a great altar spot for him eventually. Ooh, and I like what he's taking here. Taking I Am Inevitable. Me, personally, it's a very good ability from my perspective. Really, really solid. It's definitely gonna be him going aggro. Fill me in who's playing what. We've got the biggest Yeet on Blood. We've got Bobrick on Air. We've got the man, Ooflord, on Metal. And we've got Blue Shadow on Sand. A pretty star-studded matchup here. The Sand is a very interesting pick at the 10-10 position with no deserts in his corner. But he is taking the Great Sphinx Monument, so we'll see what he does with it. New scripts tonight are just what I hope is an automatic turn counter. It did automatically go in the first one. The moment that it hits Blue Shadow again, it should go to 2. And if it does that, we'll know it's working. Blood getting a very standard open here. Just going to fan out. We're going to look for the general, go to the middle of the board, and try to get any peaks, any picks on some just people trying to commit to the middle of the board. Still need that Blue Shadow emote. We hit enough subs at the beginning of this year to where we can actually apply for one. I need to come up with what it would be. We do need a Blue Shadow emote desperately. He's got some representation inside Empires of Aether in the Red Shadow ability card, but he needs more representation out here. I mean, he made us who we are. Isn't that right? Oh, I like this. We've got monuments coming out from Blood and Sand. Metal didn't take his monument, right? Didn't take his monument. What a coward. What a coward. Went for just the standard vanilla Metal build. Blood is going to get a free castle on this mountain. It's so disruptive. But Blood did recently receive a nerf to their castle's defense. They're only doing 20 defense as opposed to 30 before. It's got to represent complete and utter failure. Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Did it hit 2? It did! Gosh, we're a genius! I'm a scripting mastermind. Scripting mastermind. The first weather is Pungent Aroma. Blood's got -2 on their dice roll for 2 turns. The great news for Blood, though, is it's in the opening turns, and it doesn't look like we've got elements positioning to go for Blood, so I don't think they're going to be punished for this. Oh, my. Sand had a terrible opening corner, but when you draw a card like this in the opening hand, that might just stem the bleeding. Goodness gracious. You said you took into mind what I do with my counters, or what you do with your counters. Yes, I did. Yeah. So essentially, this is going to show all the boards or all the other players at the table how much they're netting, so they don't have to zoom in on their spreadsheets like so. It's also faster to start. We don't have to go to that alternate link to paste in those sheets. So it does a lot of things faster. I think it's a lot better. And so now, assuming that he ends right here, Sand would be at 12 food next turn, 7 plus 5. Of course, that's going to change because he's doing the rest of his turn. But that's what we're looking at here. Sand is going to further commit to that short side. He's got Haboobs at his disposal here, so if he goes to tier 2, he's able to thwart a lot of Metal's aggression here. Metal not opting to go with the chain Metal. Therefore, they don't have as much aggressive output, but still tier 2 is going to be a powerhouse when they hit Metallurgical Min along with Fortifying. The just brutal combination that Metal is able to put on. So we've got a second barracks on the Rainforest, which... And I didn't see a soldier actually come out of that. Is that meant to be a resource building? Not sure. Haboobs. Actually, one of my most proud... Oh my gosh, are we just getting all the powerhouse advantage cards in these opening turns? We've got Ooflord drawing the friendly dragon. That's saucy. I always love when... It's Jake who takes these really niche situational cards. I love how he plays, because I think he's really figured a good system out. Weaken the opponent. Weaken the opponent. They're expecting to be at here, expecting to be at this level of strength, but they're really here. They're really lower. So I like when he takes these plays. He's going to have a lot of these ore cards out there, so this is going to be really, really solid. He's got just a line of mountainous defense in front of him. It's actually kind of nuts that Metal wasn't banned in this game, in my opinion. This seems scripted. We're here for a spicy show, boys. We're here for a spicy show. For our second half of the competitive season, gotta kick it off with a banger. Gotta kick it off with a banger. Had about a month hiatus. Metal just systematically networking himself out to the middle of the board. Not going to give up anything easy. Metal is not going to be the target for Blood. Blood is going to, I think, struggle to find himself a good target to pounce upon with his new Seeing Red double movement ability. So we'll see. We're going to Bobrick. Let's see what powerhouse card he gets. He gets Strong Resolve. Solid, but he's probably not going to be defending. But you know why all these powerful cards are so important? It's because Air is going to be able to obtain any cards that have been used this game. So let's say Sand goes for an early tier 2. Well, the moment that Air goes tier 2, they can actually snag that card back, Elemental Devotion, to go to an early tier 3. And that is going to be saucy. Air's got a really good economy as well, starting at that 16-16 position, just snagging, just eating up all these tiles. Eating them up. Blood didn't start in the Elemental Temple. No, he did not, because he started 2020, so it wouldn't have been a bad choice, but it did recently receive that nerf. To where they can't move until turn 4 now. Very quick turn for Bobrick, staying at some pretty healthy numbers. Gonna be at 18 and 11 next turn. That's some definite tier 2 capabilities. Might see a 3-tile movement into the Metal Capital here. Very interesting. Could see something saucy here. Scholar of Architecture, just really solid. What he should be doing as Blood is he should be getting a 1 building material castle. That's what he should be doing. Gonna go ahead and play that advantage card. Let's see if that's what he's doing. Gotta be, right? There's no way he's not. Oh, yeah, that's a 1 building material castle. Keep saying capital. That's gonna be netting him an extra 3 food each turn. That's a very, very solid pickup for Blood here. Definitely brings him back into the advantage card picture after drawing a pretty poor opening card. So we got Blood just networking out. We definitely should be seeing the general move to the forest here in this next turn. But we want to see Blood get to a point where he can go tier 2 next turn, and he should be able to. He's netting double digits on both already. Yeah, he's solid. He'll be going tier 2 next turn, and he'll be getting that altar on that forest. No problemo. That general is going to be buffed up. And look, he's already... I kind of like what I'm seeing here. He went ahead and bought these soldiers preemptively. That looks weird for any other nation. But these are going to be sitting on this forest, which is going to become an altar next turn. He could probably buy more soldiers in addition to that. He'll be at 18, so yeah. He can sacrifice up to an army and 1 soldier at this tile next turn. And actually, if he wants to toss all of them into the Abyss, he could. And he could double movement into Sand here. So we'll see what Sand is doing here. It goes to turn 3. God, this guy's just a scripting wizard. Just an absolute scripting wizard. Sand has got a decent advantage card, but his general is on the short side. So it looks like he might want to actually press into metal here. Gonna buy this mountain. I think he might be forced to go ahead and early commit to Elemental Devotion. Now, Justin is just the king of the Blood players, but he hasn't actually played with this new Seeing Red ability. So maybe he's not expecting it. But right now, he's a prime candidate to be jumped upon over here at this Rainforest. He might just sit idle on it. But what I'd be doing is I'd be buying it, and I'd be slapping 2 defensive fortifications on it. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. We'll see. But he's trying to go for this Great Sphinx, which we haven't actually seen used yet. I'm curious to see how it performs. But I do think it's viable. Ooh, he is going for this early Elemental Devotion. It is turn 3. Bobrick is now licking his chops because he knows he's going to have access to this card. Probably this turn. Probably. But if he holds off a little bit longer, he's going to be able to get a dragon and an Elemental Devotion. The value on that card is just insane. So he goes ahead. He goes tier 2. Pops the It Guts everywhere, and I mean everywhere. So he's now up to 3 deserts, which is going to immediately instill an extra 5/5 into his economy. Sand is looking pretty. And once he gets this Sphinx down, he's going to be able to move through all deserts without utilizing his movement for the turn. So it's going to be a very, very powerful short game for him on that short side against Metal. With Haboobs at his disposal, he can get rid of 1 defensive fortification, the powerhouse, the stronghold of Metal. I'm liking the setup, actually. I'm liking it way more than I thought I was going to. Now, it certainly helps when you draw a card like this. Easily a top 3 card in the deck. But hey, here we are. That's the elements of Aether. The elements are in control, not us. It's all the elements. Moves into the lake. I do like this. I like that move. It makes it to where he can't double move. It's a free kill for the Blood General, sure. But he can't double move into you. So I wouldn't mind that play. It's not bad. New Guy in Charge is another one of my favorite. There's so many just cheeky things you can do with this because the swapping doesn't actually count as your movement. So it's so interesting what you can do with it. I mean, imagine what Metal could do. He can move this soldier into the lake, New Guy in Charge, swap his general here, and then do something saucy with that. Maybe attack that field or something. Gonna just go ahead, pop tier 2, get that second ore tile down. The building material economy is a fierce one. Doesn't even have resource buildings on him yet. Only sitting at 5 BM at the moment. Could put 1 resource building down, but he's got to move the general here, right? No way he lets this sit. Might even see a fortifying metallurgical men play, but it's so... I don't know. If he fortified metallurgical men's here, he can move the armies into here, but then you just put yourself at risk of the Haboobs, where you just lose one of your armies out of the gate. I'd like to see an early Oasis. I think these guys are actually going to go at odds with one another. Very interesting. I got to get in one of these games where you follow people tomorrow. No, man. We're open, baby. I'm trying to get a couple new people to play as well. And then I'm getting my very original table. The very first people that I ever played this game with. They're playing. They haven't played in months. They're playing on Saturday. And they're going to be debuting on the competitive scene next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to play with. But they need to be updated on what this game's about now. Because it is, so different. So different. He might metallurgical men here. I think it's not a... To force him to Haboobs early and not get maximum value, it's not bad. But then you just got to realize that Sand's offensive capabilities aren't really there. Sand definitely doesn't want to attack. But they're kind of forcing him into a weird spot. Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, dude, the summer's going to be great. I'm excited to get some, randos from across the country in on this. It's gonna be good. Count me in tomorrow. It's a table of newbies. I'll play a new element and learn something different than my normal. Absolutely. Now, I think with all the changes we did in this last week, lots of new things are viable. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm actually most excited to see how the boss's health changes comes into play. I think games on average will be slowed down just 1 turn, which I think is really, really healthy. Especially with Aether now coming to the game at turn 7, not turn 10. So the Temple goes Aether at turn 7. It's going to be very interesting. We're only 4 turns away already. Spicy here. Metals BM production just absolutely off the charts. Already netting 16 BM. Let's see Blood's economy. Keep in mind, Blood did start at the 2020 position, but he's already netting 1410. So juicy. So juicy. Bobrick on air. Good God! Just getting ridiculous cards drawn. And essentially, he's going to get to use it twice. If he plays his cards right, of course. I mean, this card is just... It's not always good, of course. But, and obviously, it's way better because we've seen the cards in everyone's hands. But my goodness, the value he's going to get out of this. Is he going for the early Oasis? This guy's a man. This guy's grabbing life by the haunches. I think he went tier 2. Had to have gone tier 2, right? He's at 8-1 for a reason. Just shifting his soldiers outward. Had to have gone tier 2. I don't like going tier 2 unless you're going to do something with it. What's the point? Bro, every S tier advantage card is getting pulled. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what he's doing? No, he can't quite do it. I thought he's going tier 2 this turn, but he doesn't want to use this card until he can go tier 3 in the same turn. He's going for a kill. I can see it. He's actually... I think we're about to see a repeat on what occurred to me the other day. This is going to be a good play. If he gets 2 more BM somehow, he is able to kill someone next turn. Very good play, by the way. Very good play. Let's see what Blood's got. Blood's got too much baggage. Force a nation to throw away one of their advantage cards. If he uses this on metal and the dragon gets tossed, that would be insanity for Bobrick. Blood's got 3 resource buildings on this mountain, courtesy of this universal donor. Sacrifices those 5 soldiers on that forest, so he didn't opt to go tier 2 with this. Yeah, just pushing outward, systematically getting these castles down. It's the way Blood's meant to be played. Just castles on every tile. He's going to be making so much food, which means so many soldiers for his general to just slurp down for the power level to increase. I feel like when our Aether-themed streams go live here in about a week or so, we need one of those sound commands, voice commands, from Dragon Ball Z. What's the scanner say about his power level? That's what we need for the Blood General. Whatever your inputs are for voice commands necessary for the elements. In about a week, our Aether theme streams go live with everything else. Gonna be a real show. We probably need some voice commands, don't we? I need to be able to reach over here to my stream deck, press one button, and get some elemental-themed voice commands. That's what we need. Air's either gonna go for the kill, or he's gonna go for an early Oasis next turn. I wish he just developed his BM just a little bit, but the BM is terrible in his corner. Can't lie about that. It's actually interesting why he chose... He chose second, and he chose Air in this corner. It's kind of strange. I think he just wanted to be short side from Blood. Not too fearful of Blood. Blood going kind of aggro here. It's going to be very interesting for Blood here. Blood does have access to their Blood Bank, their monument. Be the first time it's been seen competitively, and it is a powerhouse. I think I'm actually the only player that's gotten to use it so far, and it is very, very good. He did mess up, though. Didn't actually take Bat form. So he's not getting the full value Blood Bank. I shouldn't say mess up, because maybe he's going for a different strategy. But usually if you're going to take Blood Bank, you take Bat form and Exsanguinate, the abilities listed on the card. So that means if his general ever gets sent back, he's kind of screwed. His general's not going to be able to teleport around the map. So this could bite him. This could bite him. If someone draws Summon Home, which based on these pulls, duh, it's going to happen. Wow! The only weather cards drawn are Sabotaging Blood. This is crazy, but luckily, once again, I think for Blood, Sand is not gonna... Sand might be able to punish this turn, actually. He might be able to. Gonna get a free advantage card from him. I think he's probably going to use this on Blood. He's probably going to go for a Haboobs on Blood here. Sand is definitely feeling the pressure from both sides. Wants to put his monument down. Can't do it this turn. Has to just focus on his defense. Gonna go ahead and pop Force Gifting like we expected. Calling for Blood's advantage card. Is there one that he would... I mean, Tribes is pretty terrible. I knew that was going to be a clip. I knew that was going to be a clip. I knew it! This is going to be the most difficult turn for Justin here. Because I think no matter what he does, I think he's going to be getting attacked this turn. He can't buy this Rainforest. Ooh, imagine if actually the Amazonian Tribes goes to Sand here. That actually would have been perfect. The Blood General cannot put up a fight this turn. And he would be able to have 4 soldiers here attacking that. Be almost guaranteed. With Haboobs killing the defensive fortification. Actually, he's not adjacent to a desert, so it wouldn't work. He's in a tough spot. Oh, Friendly Dragon just got tossed. Oh my, Bobrick is just, he is licking his chops right now. Buy in the Rainforest. So actually, he's going to probably just fortify this, knowing that the Blood General can't attack this turn. Position on the Star Tile so he can't take it for free. Absolutely. You got to push this Metal General out of here. This is too much of a nuisance. You got to get him out of here. So I would imagine we see a setting the example play to get that Metal General out of here. I think Justin's playing this pretty well. Oh, he's going Barracks here. I might have to take back everything I just said. I would imagine you just put fortifications down. Just putting a barracks there. He can buy 3 soldiers. So once again, recapping the advantage cards here. Justin made David give him an advantage card, which was too much baggage, which forces a nation to throw away an advantage card. So Justin has simultaneously sabotaged the hands of both opponents pressing down upon him. So really solid from him. But the person who benefits the most is not Justin, it's actually Bobrick, who's going to have access to the Friendly Dragon. Metal's economy is just great. We said it would be. Got an army position here, just looking right for a exsanguinate play. Not liking this play here. Is he going to take the roll? A 4 or higher does take this. It is a 50-50. He can't use some boobs. We're not adjacent to a desert. It is a 4 or higher. It's a 50-50 shot. He is tier 2, though, so I like that his general can go down here as well. And that's certainly in his favor with this advantage card. Metal without owning this tile, no defensive bonus on it. Yeah, he's solid. Even if he owned it, it should be a straight-up 50-50, just that whoever rolls higher. All right, make a decision, Justin. He's going for the roll. Just has to go higher than 25, which is a 4 or higher. Come on, we're pulling for Justin here. If he attacks here and loses, the general actually gets the credit of this army. Rolls the 6! What a roll for Justin! What a roll! Great stuff! And Blood's general is sent back home. Bad news is he's going to be able to seeing red and exsanguinate this army, but you like it because that's forcing 2 cards, 2 very, very important cards, out of Blood's possession. Solid play here. A gutsy roll by Justin. Great play. And now we got to see, Justin, you got to capitalize here. You're high off the win. You're high off the win. You got to follow up. Attack here. You don't lose sacrifice when you kill. No, you don't. That got taken away. It did get taken away. Oh, he didn't attack down here. Aye, aye, aye. He should have attacked. I think Metal's going to make him pay now. Metal's going to make him pay now. Actually, he just lost a bunch of resources. Oh, what's going on here? This is not what I was expecting. We just gonna fan out here? Do they have... This couldn't possibly be peaceful relations on the realm of Aether. Fat chance, no way. I was expecting to see 2 armies just jumping down Justin over here. Couldn't possibly be. Gonna go ahead and pop all of the metallurgical men here. Full use of it. I think he's positioning for the gray. Doesn't want to have to play the temple. If he gets a hold of this, he can recycle both his excavation and his... I don't know, I can't even think of this name right now. Strip mining. He can recycle both of those abilities and get his 4 ore tiles necessary for him to achieve his quest in tier 3. So he's putting the armies here. I would imagine he's going to shift it here just to... Full this is a dicey play. They're giving Justin a lot of breathing room right here. Oof is putting all of his eggs into this basket. Should definitely be moving his army to the field, yeah? Gotta be. So he popped the full tier 2 combo for traditional metal. All 3 armies are in play. Let's actually see if our bot is working here. Our alert notifications are struggling, boys. We got no notifications coming in. Goofy is a gambling man. Wait a minute, he's going for the roll. Rolls a 3. Rolls a 5. 5 for the armies. I think that'll do it. That does do it. Why did he take that gutsy roll right now? So he gets a gray. Such a gutsy roll. Why did he do it? We nerfed the gray to have it to make it have increased health, and he takes it on a normal timeline anyway. Oh my gosh, just great stuff for young Bobrick. Just great cards. I love having this man yelling in my ears while I focus on programming. There's nothing better. There's nothing better, baby. Welcome aboard, Napavanac. Can't wait to get you involved with the elements, man. Can't wait. cannot wait. Oh, wow. Bobbrick's play is still open. If he was able to get 2 more BM, he was going to be able to kill someone. He's popping Fleet of Foot. What's the play? What's the play? He can't go to tier 3. I don't know if I like this. Like, I see some opportunity here. He's got to buy that desert for 5-5. That's such an expensive piece of sand. I don't like this play, Bobbrick. I think he saw the potential. He's going to go ahead and gust this army out of here, right? He's going to gust the army to the rainforest. Yep. Got to pop Tailwind. Ah. He is going for the kill on metal here. He's going for the kill on metal. We're seeing air in its very, very ban-worthy form. The army gets blown off of the tile here. The army is going to be the attack on the ore. The general, and this is where I do think there needs to be a little bit of modification on ruling. The air general is going to move, buy the land, purchase an army, and then the army will attack. Then the general still has 2 tiles of movement available to go to the metal capital. According to our current rulings, this is allowed. What I am debating on, but it does take away a lot of big play potential, is that you have to do all of your movement simultaneously, is the one thing I'm considering. But this is Bobbrick going for the jugular on Ooflord, snagging himself a win condition. He's going to climb up the leaderboard no matter what. That is a brutal kill. Absolutely brutal kill. Didn't even pop Tailwind yet. But air is just so saucy. So saucy. Brutal, brutal play. Oof, great setup. Took the gutsy dice roll. Of course, we saw what his strategy was going to be. He was going to be near unstoppable, probably next turn. I think definitely tier 3-able. Yeah, he was going to be tier 3-able, no problem. And he would have had his quest done. Smelting out armies each turn. I think he would have been unstoppable next turn. So Bobbrick seizing the opportunity. I see both sides for the argument. Absolutely. I see both sides for sure. If anything, it's just Gust is too powerful. Gust is far too powerful. I mean, that's the real problem here, right? Gust is stupid. Gust will be seeing a nerf here not too far from now. Blood fighting back. Gonna go ahead and seeing red and exsanguinate. Exactly what we expected. He's at 10 soldier sacrifice. The Blood Army is gonna fight back and take this lake. This is what we expected. But still, it set Blood's timeline back. Which just buys time for Bobbrick. Just buys time for Bobbrick to just utilize all of his S-tier advantage cards. I think Bobbrick is actually in a position to snag this game. This is huge. Absolutely huge. What's his play here? Does he just go for Typhon? Is that the play? Air nerfs win? Probably very soon. Gust should let the person being gusted choose. Oh, absolutely. That's a really good nerf. That actually doesn't even change the flavor of the ability too much. We've got making a comeback. Player with the least amount of tiles owned receives 10 food and 10 BM. Is that going to end up being sand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or is it a tie? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it a 3-way tie? It's a 3-way tie. Meaning that the weather does nothing. Wow! A 3-way tie on the weather results in nothing occurring. I think that was going to be Sand's last chance at getting back into the game. Because I really think his most viable play was going tier 3 and then killing Metal was his play. But that's gone now since Metal's dead. So I think that's a really, really good nerf for Air, actually. Just letting them choose where they get blown away to. In my opinion, I think the ability could definitely be a tier 2 ability. It's so powerful. But you gotta have some kind of early game threats in the game. Right? So the weather is a dead weather draw. Air could easily go for 3 star tiles here. Walking on air is not to be neglected. Walking on air is incredibly powerful, and now that he's got half of the board to work with, that's a lot of neutral tiles to move through, so he can very cheekily get a star tile that he wasn't expected to at some point. Like, if he's able to go tier 3 next turn, he's able to actually slice through all the way to this forest tile, because everything is neutral. It's just insane the ground he's able to cover. And look at the resource he's going to be at. This might be after... He might have already paid himself. He did already pay himself. Wait, but he can... He can go tier 3. Problem with that is he wouldn't be able to afford the star tiles after that. So we've got Sands Monument coming out. Everything is becoming deserts. The Great Sphinx. The Great Sphinx debut. That's a lot of sand for him. He's going to get a free Oasis out of this, too. Really solid. But how does he... He's just going to eliminate the army with Haboobs. This is good stuff. This is really good stuff. That's a lot of sand out there, boys. Only reason Air's been able to do this multiple games in a row is because people aren't expanding to the middle center of the board or getting onto their star tile. I agree. People need to be... people are prioritizing the short side way too much. I do agree with that. It's not how I play. Typically. Star tile has been open both times Bob did the play. True. Very true. Very true. The lake's getting turned into a desert as well. This is going to allow him to move through all of these sand tiles. He's going to Haboobs that army off. His general could slice through, but then you just leave yourself open to this, the blood general right there. It's a tough decision. Sitting at 10-5, but his economy is sitting pretty. That is a lot of sand on the board. Good God. This is good stuff. I really, really like Justin's setup here. But is Blood too much of a force? We shall see. Blood's general is currently sitting at 25 plus his dice roll. So he's a power between 26 and 31. It's not terrible at this point. Gus is just a better didn't pack for winter, and it's only tier 1. Agreed. 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 It's a powerhouse. It's a powerhouse. It is a top 2 tier 1 card, for sure. I'm not sure if any of you noticed whenever you open up the table today, Battlecry got a ghost nerf. Battlecry, I still think is the best card in the game. Best tier 1 card in the game. It did get a nerf. I finally, even though I don't think it's been abused, but I mean, if you just save it to tier 2 or even tier 3, God forbid, then you can do multiple attacks from multiple tiles away. Battlecry now only applies to the units on one tile. Can move multiple tiles and attack. So, a long overdue nerf that thankfully hasn't been abused too much. But here we are. Very important turn here for Blue Shadow. Has popped his Great Sphinx, but what to do afterwards? Look at the netting. Look at the net. 22 food, 18 BM. Just absolute juicer of an economy. I would imagine his gameplay at this point is to probably... He didn't take his quest, unfortunately. You're not eliminating anyone. You don't have enough time. You're probably going for 50-50 and 3-star tiles, which is the most annoying win. I'll give you that. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. And Justin is atop of the leaderboard in this current season. He's going to do what he can to maintain that. He needs to get at least one win condition out of here. David desperately wants one win condition out of here. Imagine if Blood had their bat form in this situation. Then Blood would just be able to just run train on sand, I think. So powerful. Haven't even put their altar out, which is interesting. Just denying themselves a couple resources each turn. He might have actually been trying to use the altar aggressively to make it to where it's a tile that couldn't be changed into a desert, which would be super interesting. So he does opt to Haboobs that army out of here. I like it. He's got a lot of deserts at his disposal. He's easily going to be able to go tier 3 next turn. The only problem is sand is going to be right there with him. Going to be right there with him. But with this network of sand here, sand is going to be able to go everywhere. Absolutely everywhere on the board. I think utilized the Great Sphinx super well this game. I like it. Good stuff. Music's been kind of vibey here. So a pretty long turn for Blue Shadow here, just resulting in him taking out that army. He had to have used Haboobs, right? Had to have. I'm sure that army just disappeared. Just vanished. Air's got 5 advantage cards. First time in a long time I've seen them actually utilize their holding 5 advantage cards passive. Tailwind is going west. He has declared his attack. Oh, I think Bobber's going for a double kill. I think he's going to go for sand. That's what I think is going to happen. Gonna toss strong resolve here. He's got massive casualties and skin in the game. He's got a lot of involvement with the rest of the board. Massive casualties. What's he going to do here? He's going to eliminate an army. I didn't think there was an army on the board, actually. Where is the army that he's... The army in question? Gonna go ahead and pop that. A part of our past days with us. Gonna acquire Elemental Devotion. He can go tier 3 for 10-10. Win conditions available. He hasn't killed a boss yet. He could go for Typhon. He doesn't nearly have the power to do so. Gray is off the table. He can go for a Typhon kill that would win him the game, or if he kills Vipress and the Kraken, it would win him the game. 3 star tiles, much more likely. I don't think he can kill... He can't kill sand, but he can go 1 tile away from sand. With Zephyr at his disposal, though, that makes killing 2 bosses much more likely. I don't like him putting advantage cards into his hand without using them in the same turn, because I think going tier 3 this turn is very bad. But there's lots of weather events that could happen right now that discard your hand. Got a missing advantage card that we're looking for. Bodrick is prime position right here. Prime position. He's got lots of options. Good God. New guy in charge here. Is he going for the kill? Going tier 3. He can eliminate castles. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! Bobrick is using a new guy in charge. He went tier 3 with Elemental Devotion, swapped his general with the soldier, has catapults, destroys the castle. He's going to be able to high road this. What a win! If this goes unquestioned, unencumbered, is this a double kill win for Bobrick? What a swift win for Bobrick! Snagging himself 2 eliminations without anyone else able to acquire a win condition. Metal only getting half of a win condition there by killing 1 boss. What a game, boys! Holy moly! Bobrick takes a win, firmly displaying why Air is pick banned nearly every single game. Great win for Bobrick. I think the first double elimination win of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Lots of players killed this game. This season, Bobrick's been killed several times himself this season. But Bobrick eliminates 2 players at the table and makes this a quick game. The stream is not even an hour long. Didn't even start the game until 15 minutes deep. This was a 45-minute game. A turn 5 victory for Bobrick. Bobrick, the come-up. The Bobrick trading arc is complete. He dies a record 8 games in a row. Not just loses, dies 8 games in a row. And now brings the pain to his opponents, killing 2 top 5 seeded opponents before turn 5. Now we're not gonna call him a dirty air abuser. I mean, come on, let's not slander him in the chat. Let's not call him a dirty, filthy air abuser in the chat. But I mean, a spade's gonna call a spade a spade. Bobrick's a dirty, filthy air abuser. Ladies and gentlemen, what a kickoff to the second half of the first competitive season of Empires of Aether. Bobrick putting an exclamation point on the match tonight. Bobrick on the come up. He's the only guy I messaged to fill in this final spot at the table tonight because Bobrick has displayed a lot of prowess. A lot of prowess out there. But my goodness, was it not all, like, the best 5 advantage cards were pulled in the opening turns, allowing Bobrick to fully take advantage, but to see that play takes a lot of chutzpah. Kudos to Bobrick. Kudos to Bobrick. Good on ya. And he will be moving up the leaderboards in our competitive season. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Empires of Aether, the next rate turn-based strategy board game. Please tell your friends, tell your moms. We love it when the moms watch us out here. We love it. Put us on the big screen, kick your feet up, get a frosted carbonated beverage of choice. Me personally, our partner Celsius, natural caffeine to fuel you through the day and night. You dirty, filthy animals. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you here tomorrow night for another spicy match. That's definitely going to have Goofy in it. We'll see who else we get. We're looking to get some new people involved, and if any part of this game has piqued your interest, come get involved. Join our Discord. Join a match or 2. Let's make something cool. Yeah? See you later.